You're my good luck charm, Danny boy.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Here we are. We are live. Let me go into the chat, see if there's actually anybody in here. There's a few people sitting here waiting to go. What's going on? What's going on? Give me a yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo if you're in the chat so we know you can see us and hear us.
Patty, we said yoo-hoo. Not hello. Jeff, we said, this is do you know how to spell yoo-hoo?
I'm here.
I'm gonna help you. Hold on a second. Alexa, how do you spell yoo-hoo? Alexa. 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 You son of a.
There we go. Hey. Somebody's going to get banned from this room right away. And you know who you are.
Now.
Anyway, that's all good. Okay. So we got a couple of things we want to cover today.
Boy, that is annoying to see that pop up in your chat, huh? God damn it.
My Alexa must be yours. Yeah, they're useless. I got one too, but they're fun to argue with.
And yes, Alexa will be at the event. She'll be doing the 8 to midnight shift.
Oh my goodness. This is not good. Okay.
So we got a bunch of questions.
I mean, the reality for this call is we had a bunch of questions about what's going on why we switched to Etsy, what were we thinking, what's going on with the event that we are having in March and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions, pop them in the chat and we'll get to them. We got a couple that came in on Skype that are kind of good to go over for you guys so you understand, sort of the whole process and everything that's that going on. Like one of the first questions that hit my Skype was, what's the real operating costs on Etsy?
Not a lot. I mean, it's hard to kind of gauge, right? Because we don't know what you're going to be doing, but the reality is, actually, like, it's almost too good to be true. Like, the reality is there doesn't have to be almost any operating costs. I mean, you got your cost, whatever if you're selling a pair of leggings, you got to pay for the leggings, but like, as far as like an operating cost, like, are they talking advertising? I mean, that's the biggest one in Shopify, right?
Yeah, that would be your biggest cost. But I would assume the question was related, because if you look at Shopify, you pay, $29 or $39 a month or $79 a month, or depending on the plan that you got. Then you add all your apps on there. There are $10 here, $15 there, $35 there. That kind of stuff. So it's really not comparable, because Etsy doesn't charge you to open your own store. Etsy charges you, what is it, 20 cents?
20 cents every time you do
20
a listing.
cents every time you add a product. And that listing is good for 4 months. So, if you have 100 products times 20 cents, you're looking at $20 for 4 months to run those stores. Now,
yeah, it's just really, it's tough to gauge, because like, there's not apps, there's a software package here or there that you might get to help with some of the stuff, but you don't even really need that. There are no apps. There are apps that you can use, but we're not using any. They actually seem like kind of a waste.
Yeah. So that's
the advertising though is a big deal. Like, you can spend in the beginning, if you want to do advertising, you don't even have to do advertising with Etsy, but if you want to start, it's going to set you back. It's going to be could be almost $10 a day.
Yeah. If you go crazy, it's $10 a day. And sometimes
first
they
few
would even
days was
take the whole
4.
$10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The advertising part is just awesome.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you can still get your budget up, but if you have a high budget, it means you're doing something right, and it's all good. It's all gravy at that point.
yeah, exactly.
I've heard it's too hard to be found on Etsy because of the competition. We have not found that. We found the opposite. We're ranking on the first page of most of our keywords that we're trying to.
Yeah.
See, you have to remember, like, this really is made up of like crafters, and they're really good at making, table runners and wreaths and stuff, but they're not marketers. You're not computer people. Maybe they don't know SEO or whatever. And we teach you all of that at the event, but like, they're not putting any time in that. So that's why it's hard for someone when they first start with Etsy to get found. Right. I mean, because they're just like, they write their description in a way that makes sense, and they do everything how they think they would, and they want to showcase their craft or whatever. If you start from the beginning, though, building everything from the ground up, following like a certain process, it's pretty easy to be found on almost any keyword you want. And that's why you don't have to spend a ton of money on ads unless you want to.
Yeah. So here's a good question from Lynn. If I sell in several niches, do I need to open multiple Etsy stores?
Oh, see, that's what's so cool about Etsy, I think. Like, yes or no.
Whichever you prefer, really.
If you want to have a general store, which is 90% of the people on Etsy, maybe 99% of the people they sell everything.
Yeah, see, in Etsy, they break everything down by category of product, what the physical product is, not who it's targeted towards. So when you create a store in Etsy, you can have a store that has mugs or runners or whatever, and those runners could be targeted to different niches if you want, or you can take a niche and say, I'm going to do sports stuff and have just sports mugs, sports runners, sports this, sports that, and then have another store that is focused towards dogs and it's dog mugs and whatever. So it's totally up to you, just the way you did with your Shopify store. If you want to have it niche specific, it's whether you're selling a dog thing and a sports thing in the same store is irrelevant really, because it's the individual listed item that gets found on Etsy. I'm getting started. I have an Etsy store for a year. My question is, how do I put in print text? They are requiring information on a partner that is not in one's shop studio. Well, you do that when you actually create the listing. It actually asks you if you have a partner and you specify the information in there. It's not very difficult. We're going to go through that whole process in the event to make sure you set up your products properly and follow Etsy's rules so that you don't misrepresent what you're doing. Because that's the only way I know of that you can lose your store, the trademark infringement stuff and misrepresenting your business. And
mostly like if you say, hey, buy this and we'll ship it out tomorrow and you'll have it in 24 hours, like the shipping and handling times are a huge issue. So like we had that question come in 1 billion times actually, because obviously a lot like Printex is here in America, but Pillow Profits, Exclusion, those guys are, they're China drop shippers. So how can you sell on Etsy, these China drop shipping things when we know in the past that shipping can be challenging? To put it nice, but I mean, what can you do? I mean, it's coming from China. They don't have same day drone delivery. So what can you do? but the reality is, if you are very clear in your description and in your shipping times, and you say hey, you want these leggings, it's going to take 3 weeks. They are 100% totally good with that. I mean, Etsy for sure is good with it, but more importantly, the buyers are good with that. Why? Because you're an artist. You're telling them, hey, you like these, it's going to take, and you're not getting them for 3 weeks. Okay, we love them.
Yeah, because you're basically telling
so
them
different.
that you're doing them one at a time, which effectively you are. You're not taking the design and, making, filling an inventory and selling from that. You're basically saying, this is the design I'm putting on these. If you want them, I'll, make you a pair in your size or whatever. And they expect that it's going to show up when it shows up. You tell them you're using a production partner to facilitate that, and you're totally representing yourself properly. And people are selling this stuff, and more and more are going to show up on Etsy. I guarantee it. So where's the what is that? One of the questions here. Too good to be true. Are people really making money with leggings, shoes, and T-Rex stuff on Etsy? Well, we have a treat for you, because we have convinced one of our good friends that is becoming a very highly profitable seller on Etsy, selling just that print tech stuff. He's going to get on the call sometime soon, as soon as I figure out how to actually add him to the call. Let's see, how can I do that?
What he's doing is just crazy.
I know. Jeff, on the if you could do a click on the speak request in the menu bar there and do a request for speaking. I need to find your name so I can add you as a, there it is. Wow, he's fast. Okay, I hit it. Now it should allow you to get on there. Cool. So while he gets that set up and shows up on the call, we'll answer a couple of more questions. Let's see. And Jeff, throw in a message if you're not able to do that, and we could try it a different way. Okay, here's someone saying, I sell better on Etsy than Shopify. Yep, us too right now. Can you advertise with Etsy? I've found that people can add their product to your page product. Have found that people can add their product to your page and product.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that when you're on a platform like Etsy or Amazon or whatever, that they're going to have, people that are, the customers have also bought, or, similar, blah, 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 whatever. That's like just Amazon. The nature of the beast. But being found in the search and having the product, and that is the game that you play with Etsy. And since you're not paying for advertising, you are working their system. And they have their own ad platform on there. Jeff, are you here? I see you here, but we're not hearing you. Are you? You got your mic turned on? Did you click the button at the top?
Up on top. You're playing games? Oh.
He's playing games. Okay, so
yeah. So yeah, there's a big blue button up on top, Jeff. It's a microphone button.
No, it's only blue when you click it on. It's black before you start.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, make it blue.
So do you find the alternate platforms on ads, like, because Rick's asking about the internal ad system or the alternate system, the alternate ad platforms that are linked with Etsy. Do you find them more effective than the internal? And at this point, we are finding the internal Etsy ad platform outperforms any of the external stuff by about 100 to 1. It's crazy, very crazy. Yeah. So are the keywords you're speaking of the words you add to each listing, which they give you 13 total?
That's some of them.
Yeah, that's part of the setting up of your listing and maturing that listing and getting it found in uses the description, uses the title, uses the keywords the 13 that you talk about. It's a combination of working all of those, and again, that's part of the training on the event that we're going to go through in detail with you. There's one I started a month ago and already have sales. Yeah, it's
pretty easy.
And I'm sure you didn't spend anything but time to get your stuff up. Most of my titles are, yeah, it's a good way to approach the titles. That's exactly what we're going to go over in the event, Rick. It's a perfect scenario. My internet went down.
Sandra,
for the original webinar. Do you have a link for the replay? Yeah, you should have got an email, Jeff, in the same email you got the invite to. Here, I sent that out to everybody.
Sandra said, I love Etsy. I'm more of an artist, so this platform makes perfect sense for me. I just didn't think of it working for print on demand. You're right. The audience and customers are awesome. It's perfect for print on demand stuff. People aren't really doing it much because they don't know they can do it. But yeah, it's definitely, it's kind of like the dream platform for all of us in this space.
Here's a great question. How hard or easy is it to set up personalization for customers to fill in? Personalization doesn't work on Etsy. Well, it does. You can sell stuff that's personalized, but it's a manual process. Basically, the customer can leave you a note with the order. And if you go through and look at all of the people that are offering personalization, their standard line is, at checkout, leave the name or the change to the design that you want, and we'll make the change and communicate with you after the sale. So it's not like T-Rex. It's not like Shopify where you can add specific fields for specific stuff. It's not like that. So
when you're making your designs, you want to keep that stuff in mind, that, making your designs like, okay, I want to make sure this, whatever can be editable in your Photoshop or whatever.
Right. And I mean, and the reality is this, I mean, if you want to do a, like a grandma design, it says grandma or Bubba or mama or Mima or whatever, in the Etsy environment, it makes more sense to create listings with all of those on there and see so that they're already in the store. And on each of those, you could say, if you want to make a change, send us a note if you haven't found this design with your grandma nickname on it. So, so are you putting them as private to public? I didn't want to list them to public so people don't go looking to them directly. I don't really know if I know what that means.
I'm not sure what that means either.
How do you guys test products for Etsy? We create a product on Etsy listing, put it up there, do our little business, and let her fly.
When Dwight says do our little business, I hope it's not what you mean, like our little process. You're not, okay, never mind. You're not like doing a little business. A little funny. Well, I wish I had an undo. Is there an undo button on here? Where is that?
So will Etsy allow the same designs by multiple vendors as this person has all of the sports designs? Well, they don't have all the sports designs, but one of the things that I would mention again is that the best way to lose your Etsy store is to deal with trademark infringing items. So I would stay away from designs that have any trademark infringing.
But we've taught and coached a lot of people. The designs are up there.
And there's a lot of designs that people will use. And the reality is, you know, I mean, you can find all kinds of Etsy sellers selling the same, not the same exact stuff, because they're creating their own version of it. But, you know, whether it's a, you know, picture of a dog or a whatever, you know, Etsy's going to let you sell it until, let's see here. What do we got here? Jeff is telling me something. He couldn't hear us, and he had me download the app and build up my USB mic, but it should be.
Oh, he's got to probably hit that little media player in the URL browser, or in the URL space in the browser where you're typing.
All right. Well,
is that too complicated?
We'll get him on the next call. We'll test it ahead of time.
Yeah.
and that's a good idea, Jeff.
What makes Etsy better as a sales tool than Shopify? Well, it's kind of what we've been talking about the last couple of calls. That's a huge question, actually, because it's a lot better, in my opinion. It's the basic thing. You get to piggyback on Etsy's credibility. Everyone on Etsy, the shoppers on Etsy, trust Etsy. Okay, if there's a shop on Etsy, they're just going to automatically kind of trust you because they're assuming, you know, Etsy screened you somehow. But the bigger thing is, again, it's the audience. It's a totally different audience than you're going to get with Shopify, or that you're going to get when you're advertising on Facebook. It's, you know, on Facebook, people are there, like we said, to interact with friends or post pictures of their, you know, dinner from last night, or, you know, spread a few Trump fake news stories. They're not there, just like they're not logging in going, oh God, I hope Jeff launches a new pair of boots. You know, they're not there for that. So what we end up doing, everyone with Shopify sites who advertise on Facebook, we're interrupting them. We're interrupting their social media browsing. And it's like, no wonder customer service sucks with Shopify, because we're already getting people pissed at us because it's like, hey, stop doing what you're on Facebook to do and buy this shirt about nurses, right? So those people are coming to your Shopify store from a totally different mindset. With Etsy, it's like they're jumping in the car and driving to the mall to buy some cute stuff. So they're in that mode right now to buy. Right now, Etsy is full, but I forgot what you said about the traffic. Like it's number 49 in visited sites.
Yeah, like 54 or something.
So right now, that means everyone on Etsy, that huge number, they're looking for stuff to buy. They got their cash in their hands looking to buy something cute. All you have to do is give them something cute.
Yeah, and here's Sandra saying, you're right. Is totally different. The audience customers are awesome on Etsy.
Yeah. Well, and there's another question that came in too about why do you guys saying the customer service is easier on Etsy? Is it because Etsy does some of the customer service? No. That, like, it's easier because of what we just said. I get why you would say that. Like if you were selling on Teespring, you don't have to worry about customer service because Teespring takes care of that. No, you're still going to have to deal with customer service. You're just not going to get a lot because they're happy to be there. They love what you're selling. So if you tell them it's going to take 3 weeks, that's fine with me. I love your stuff. Send it when you can, kind of thing. You'll get positive reviews. Everyone's happy. It is like, Etsy has been around for a long time. It is crazy that it's like heaven. Oh, it's really nice.
You're funny. So when we sign up with Etsy with our correct contact info, or can we use an alias as the store owner name? Well, it goes down to how you want to represent yourself. If you are the artist and you are the store owner, you want to represent yourself in a way that is true and accurate, because that's one of the reasons that Etsy will shut your store down, is that if you've misrepresented yourself. So we have somebody from our, not me as the owner of our store, but somebody that's much cuter than me, but related to the store. And not you, Dan.
Oh, not me?
No. as the
She's a
store
lot
owner.
closer to me than she is you.
She's a lot cuter than you. You know what I'm saying? So, you could do whatever you feel you would like to do, but that's how we do it. And that's any workaround to get the buyer emails. Etsy doesn't want you to send emails to their customers because they do believe that they're their customers. We have a strategy to bring the customers into our email list. And again, that's something we're going to cover in the event and in our strategy to do that, so that they've actually given us permission to send them information. So it's, you know, you can pick it. I mean, you go in by order and grab their email address, but Etsy really does not want you to do that, which is why they don't allow you. They don't give you a download or any way to get that information off of their screen, except for looking up the customer name. But all things are possible. Give me the link for a little more information about the new store. I can give you a link to the, what are we looking for? To the
event,
the actual event that we're doing. If that's what you're asking for, and if it's not, I'll still give it to you. Because
so speaking of the event, it's going to be the St. Patrick's Day weekend, and we have a smaller room than like the Pillow Profits Live. We had a question about how similar is it. I don't know where I can't find that question now. Oh, is it same? They asked if it's the same information that you gave at Pillow Profits Live 2017. No.
Well, we're not advertising on Facebook, and we're not using Shopify, so that pretty much throws all of the Pillow Profits Live event out the window. We're going to show you how to build an Etsy store and optimize it, and and make it in a way that is attractive to the Etsy customer, and build your store and your sales up with that. So hopefully that helps you. Let me just send this link out here. There. Everybody should have that link now. I don't know how far behind on the messages. I got probably quite a ways behind. Can you give us a rough idea when you'll come to the US? Well, we got to get through this event in March. I need to make sure that this is content and a system that people want. And if we get the right response and enough people at the event, then we will schedule our first US very shortly after the March event. But you'll have to wait until then. I can't. We're not going to schedule anything until we know that we have something that people want. What do you put in production partners for vendors? Do you put their no, we put their US location.
With Etsy, do you need to get a domain for your store? Nope.
Nope, do not. Hey guys, nice to see you again. Nice to see you, Marcy. Etsy should be great, but it will fill up soon. Everybody is promoting it now. Well, here's the thing. Etsy's already got 800,000 sellers on it. I'm sure they got room for a couple of thousand more marketers, you know. Just a guess, but pretty sure they know what they've been
popular for a while.
They've been popular for a while, yeah. Is the audience mainly North America based?
It's all over.
Well, it's all over. I mean, obviously, all over for me is Canada and the U.S. because that's where I focus my business. I don't know if Etsy is very popular in Europe or Australia or
it is. It's actually pretty huge all over the world.
Yeah. Well, it's number 54 in the U.S. So you know, it's maybe
what it is in Czechoslovakia, way up there.
Yeah.
Who's this? Are meals included? Yeah, meals are included. on your credit card bill. Oh,
it's big international. Jeff even says it's big and international. So awesome. That is awesome. Can art bought from, say, Shutterstock be considered as a unique design and be allowed and sell okay? I don't know.
You got the license, I suppose.
If you have the license to produce that artwork on physical goods, I can't see any reason why not. When is this event and where and how much? Oh, I put the link in the thing. It should give you all the dates, but it's basically March 16th to 18th, 16, 17, and 18. It's in Vancouver, British Columbia. It is all day, all evening. You know, you get there, you start working, you don't stop. You basically take a few hours to sleep, and we just keep chugging you through until Sunday night, and then we kick you out and make you go home.
And we're going to have a series of pre-event calls. We're going to have a series of post-event calls too. And it all comes out to around 40 hours of content, with the main chunk being that whole weekend. And you're going to go from zero to having a store that's ready to sell.
Yeah.
How do you, Bobby wants to know, how do you mean optimize your store? Well,
I guess it just means how you optimize your store, which means that your products are easily found by people doing searches. So it's kind of like website search optimization, but
that's what we're teaching
optimization, because you want, to basically, if somebody's looking for car seat covers, you want to be found on the first page of car seat covers as a search. So we're going to show you how to teach.
Yeah,
that's what we teach. Yeah. Thanks. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good. Thank you. Good. Is it better wait until the event to set up a store, or can what we learn at the event be implemented after the store is open? Absolutely. You can do what we teach at any time. I mean, if you already have a store and you've been trying to sell and you're struggling, our event is perfect for you. If you don't have a store and you want to just start one up and be ready to rock and roll at the event, great. The event's perfect for you. If you have sold a ton of stuff on Shopify and you're pissed that your ad costs is exceeding your profit right now, our event is perfect for you. If you breathe and you eat and you drink, our event is perfect
you do your
for
business.
You.
We're going to have, like I said, some pre-event calls. And if you haven't set up your store yet, it might make sense. I appreciate wanting to get like a head start on it, but honestly, it might make sense just to watch, do the pre-event call where we kind of tell you specifically how to set up the store and then stop. And then you can kind of work along with everyone at the event. But
yeah, some of the questions like, can we manual, or no, where is it? Are you going to provide a live stream? And the answer is no. You've obviously not been to one of our events before. We don't do live stream because our events are, we teach you something, you implement it. We teach you something, you implement it. We teach you something, you implement it. So it's not something that you can live stream very well, because we literally are teaching you something for, whatever, 15, 20, 30 an hour. And then you spend a couple of hours with my team and us, Danny and I, running around the room, helping people, answering their questions, making sure that they do it properly. So it's a very much of a workshop as opposed to standing on the stage and talking and you just listening and going home with your heart beating and whatever and having not done anything. It's very much workshop based. It's like, you're going to do stuff. We're going to tell you what to do. You're going to do it. That's how we do it.
Kathy just messaged. She said, yeah, you implement to 2 a.m. She's been to a few of our events until the 2 a.m.
Are you assisting with partnering up people to share rooms, or do we need to do that ourselves? Very good question, Jay. Very good question. I don't know. I don't know how to do that correctly or easily.
We've done it in the past.
Well, we have. We've had a couple couple of people have asked, if there's any people looking for roommates. I see that. If you could Skype me if you're looking for a roommate, let me know and I will connect you to somebody that is also looking for a roommate. That's about the best I can do because we don't.
So traditionally, what happens when we do events?
We
get a block of rooms. We get a kind of a small block, and then like consecutive circles from the hotel. People start going in, hotels near there, and then hotels further away, and then Airbnbs, and then pretty soon, like, you cannot get a place in Vancouver.
Yeah,
like it's man. Yeah. One time Anderson had to sleep in a car, didn't he? In the trunk.
Can you change the event venue to Dublin, Ireland for Paddy's Day? Funny. Would be nice. Where did we go here? Okay. Do you want the store name to reflect what you sell? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. We have not found that it matters, as far as I know.
I mean, how you can tell is take a look at the homepage. Oh, sorry. Take a look at the Etsy homepage. Look at all those shops.
And do a search and then look at the shop names related to the search that you've done. And it has no effect on the search results that we can tell or verify. I've been to at least 2. I was wondering, will you provide any PDFs? I can't come, unfortunately. She's put in very strong letters. Well, oh yeah, you have been to a couple of our events.
Well, maybe we'll do our first US event at your house.
Yeah.
At a hotel near your house.
Hopefully you have room for 40 people. What do you put in for production partners for exclusion and pillow prop? I've answered the question once before. We put in their pillow profits and exclusion have North America based addresses because that's where their ownership is from, but not where they ship from. So just shut up and do what the amazing Dwight tells you. Thank you, Mark. You're very kind. Yes, pillow profits and exclusion will let you work with them without their Shopify apps. Pillow Profits is just starting the development of their standalone order product creation stuff. Exclusions is already done. They already have where you can log into their back end, create the product, and they give you the SKUs and everything that you would use then to create your products in Etsy or wherever else you're creating them outside of a Shopify environment if you want it. And they also have a CSV import of the order from Shopify, or not Shopify, from Etsy. And for those that are coming to the event, I'm going to tell you right now, well, no, I shouldn't. I'm now pulling a Ken Anderson. I'm fucking starting to tell people about stuff that we're working on that we weren't going to tell them what we're doing.
Lock it up. Lock it up.
Anyway, what we're going to do is we just got it completed last night. We have a couple of more things to test on it. But basically, you can download your orders from Etsy in a CSV format. They already have that for you. You actually throw it onto this website that we've created. You basically upload your Etsy order. It's actually it's not actually being uploaded, but it basically takes your Etsy order, reformats it in Printex and exclusion format. So you have a Printex order CSV and an exclusion order CSV ready to just be thrown up to their site. So it's super. Jeff is helping us test it.
Why is he helping us, Dwight?
Well,
because he has.
let me just see if I can pull up this one thing to show you why Jeff is helping us with that. Let's go to downloads here. Where's my downloads?
This is amazing. Yeah, so what happened? We went to Pillow Profits. We asked Pillow Profits an exclusion. We said, well, this is what we want to do, but it would be a lot easier if you guys built this back end for us. So they did. Oops. I mean, and that's what's great, and that will definitely benefit everyone.
Now, let me share my screen. No, not whiteboard. I don't want the whiteboard. I want the share screen right there. Just a sec. What is that? Oh, I see. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. So just for people to get an idea, the last 7 days, when we announced on the first webinar we did, he said, oh, well, then you might be interested in showing this. His January 27th to February 2nd, he had 73,000 views, over 1,000 orders, and 25,000 in revenue. And I believe he said his ad spend was under $300.
What?
So, what? I know. Let me turn off my screen share.
That is the kind of thing where you do 25 grand in sales, you're spending on Facebook
13.
Right now 29 grand.
When things were working, to do 25 grand, we were spending up to about $11,000. So
yeah, like we're getting a lot of questions like, well, why did you guys say, do you have to do advertising? Well, you don't even have to do advertising on Etsy. We do because number one, it's super cheap and it just kickstarts everything and you shoot up faster, but you really don't, you know. Patricia just said, how can you spend more than $10 a day on Etsy ads? Well, it's up to them. You start with $10 a day, you pay your bill, you add products, and they slowly, not even slowly, they trust you and it keeps going up. It's pretty neat though.
It says here, most Etsy stores I see have so many sales and reviews. How do you compete against those? You have a product that somebody wants. I mean, if you're selling a specific saying on a product, that's going to attract them. And you've got, I mean, it builds. The more you sell, the more credibility you have, the more whatever. But reality is somebody's going to buy that first time because that's exactly what they want for their kid, their mom, their dad, their wife, their husband, whatever. It just is the way that it is. Everybody starts somewhere, and you can't start.
Well, Kathy, look at it this way. Sales. How did you start your store, your Shopify store? On the internet, full of a billion other shops with zero sales. I mean, yeah, you just have to start. And again, with Shopify, like as marketers, we're always trying to build up that, you know, the slickness, right? So we're going to prove to them, hey, we don't have a lot of sales, but look how slick we are. With Etsy, it's not like that. You can have zero sales, but the way you write your description and the way you have your pictures, they're going to get an idea of the type of person you are because the people are nicer. And they're going to say, you know what, there's something about Kathy I like. I'm going to buy her XYZ. That's just how it starts. And then you start getting sales, more sales, and more sales, and it just snowballs.
Here's a question. Is that $10 per product? No, that's $10 per day.
Per day.
That's all they'll let you spend in the beginning. You know, they don't let you come in and spend $1,000 and flood all their keywords or whatever. They're going to let you spend $10 a day and make sure that your product is sellable to their customers.
So you're saying that $25,000 was made in 1 month? No,
that was 1 week.
1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the real deal, you guys.
Did you say in the last webinar that each person will have a different product from others in the event? Yes, in the event, I don't know, we never really said anything about that again here, but our designer Marv is creating the whole set of designs that we're going to give away at the event, but everybody's going to get their own design. Not everybody's going to get all of them, because we don't want 40 people to go build a store and all sell the same exact product with the same design. So we've decided everybody's going to be given a design for this holiday event that's coming up, and you'll be able to build products. You'll build them properly. You're going to do, you know, the search stuff or whatever, but you're going to have your own unique design, and we're going to teach you how to optimize that. And then you can take that strategy, that step-by-step system, and every product you add, you put it through this system to make sure that it comes out on the other end.
And also you're getting the famous master builder file that we give away at events, except this one was 100% redesigned specifically for Etsy, and it'll make sense when you see it. But so everyone's going to get the design, and that design can be put on, I think, 8 products. I mean, I think we have 8 products in the master builder.
Yeah, I
don't know, but it's so you'll be able to sell multiple products while you're there. Yeah,
it's a lot of stuff. Yeah. So anyway,
Marv will be here,
and Marv will be there, and and we're already over half full. So you know, I don't want to rush you or anything like that, but we're already over half full on the event, and we have a lot of good friends coming back to their 3rd and 4th event of ours, and it's going to be a blast. But it's going to be.
I'm excited for this because it's like, I think really one of the first platforms that anyone can make money on pretty easy. And you know,
well, the best thing that I like about it is I'm not giving Facebook any more money. Like, that SOB doesn't need any more of my money. He's already, you know, got more than enough. So I like it just for that, Etsy. And it's easy to make money. It's easy to, once you understand how, as a marketer, once you understand how the system works, it don't take long to build reviews, lots of reviews and lots of sales, and just start to build your. Who owns Etsy? I have no idea.
Etsy. Let me look it up here. Mark Zuckerberg. Wait a minute. Be terrible. Mark Zuckerberg. No, how does he own it?
I'd jump off a bridge. I'd kill myself. Anyway, I don't have any. It looks like we're out of questions. We're almost at the top of the hour. So hopefully that answered all of your questions, or some of them. Anyway, if I missed any questions in this whole list, I'm sorry, but we will have some calls. I would ask, but Alexa, she's useless.
Well, here I've been talking into
ask Alexa, but she's useless. Yeah. How are you selling to your email list now that you shut down your Shopify stores? We send them to our Etsy listings. Yeah, I was sort of frozen up by marketing. I'm so glad you guys shared this. I was sort of frozen up by marketing. Everyone was saying Facebook marketing was getting more expensive and more difficult. I'm so excited. Well, not only is it's not getting any more difficult, it still works the way it always worked. It's just very expensive. And unless you're selling a very high level of profit product, you're giving all the money to Zuckerberg and the boys.
I just did a pretty massive test for the last 2 days on, you know, our full framework campaign on Facebook, and still the cheapest clicks we were getting were like $250. It's like, no way, you can't. How can you sell a t-shirt if you're, you know, a $20 t-shirt, if you're paying $250 for a click? You just can't. So it's just ridiculous. So we're constantly testing because it's, you know,
Chad Dickerson is the Etsy CTO. Well, here's a question, and we get this question quite a bit, and this is going to be the last question that we answer. So stop putting questions in the thing. Well, there's a good point. Roy says he stopped his Facebook ads at the beginning of December because he was losing money. Welcome to the club, my friend. I did the exact same thing. I shut down our entire operation. That we had a budget of $250,000 for the late November, December timeframe. We shut it completely down because I was
now just once a week. Money. Yeah, not once a week.
Anyway, let's go back to this question, because this question comes up all the time, and this is going to be our last question. Is it possible to make real money if you are a flat out newbie without spending weeks to build a reputation? Well, here's the answer to that question. The answer is you need to spend time building up your reputation. But with the strategies that we help you implement at the event that we're going to teach you, it helps you grow that reputation quicker than if your products are never getting found by potential customers. So there is a chance to make real money in Etsy. There are people that are doing, 5 figures, 6 figures a month in Etsy just because they know how to put their products into the system and let the system work for them. And
they are newbies. There are plenty of newbies making 5 figures a month, and that is no lie. Because it's after you know how to do it, it's very repeatable.
Okay. So I just want to comment on Anne's comment. We didn't say that Facebook sucked in August. We said that we were not willing to risk our entire business on one platform. We realized in August that we had bet our entire business on the Facebook ad platform continuing the way that it always was running. And we realized we needed to expand our what we were looking for, expand our knowledge and revenue streams, because if at some point in the future that Facebook does something like they did in November, our business, we wouldn't be out of business. So we started, that's a strategy for our business. Now you get to decide the strategies for your business. Do you want a single source stream of income that if you lose it for whatever reason, you're out of business? Or do you want to have multiple streams of income for your business? And that's how we put our business strategy out there.
I can tell you in August, that was last year, June, July, and August were our 3 biggest months in sales on Facebook. So we loved Facebook then. I mean, looking back, it's like, it sucks that you had to pay them.
At the August event, I think we were doing like $27,000 a day on Facebook ad revenue and profit. I mean, it was just.
Were we doing it in front of you guys? Yeah. I mean, so you see how we loved it.
So, all right. That's all we got for today. Keep those questions coming. If you have more questions, just send them off to us. Those that have signed up and are signing up for the event, I'm going to give you the link just one more time. There will be a replay sent out that will have all the links associated. So hopefully we'll see you guys on the other side at the event. Have a great day and a great week.
Bye.